Hello everyone. Sorry for the delay in actually recording this video. It's been a while, but I thought I'd just run through the latest features of the Jodrell WebSDR. WebSDR 2 and 1 are pretty much the same. There's a few slight differences based on the fact that one's HF mainly and the other's VHF UHF, but pretty much the tabs along the bottom here are the same. I think the one difference is the CB codes are actually on the other one instead of this one. So when you first come to the page, you'll be presented with this. This is the display you get. You'll be pleased to know it's all hosted over HTTPS now, so it's all secure, which also means that various kind of functions are allowed to work because web browsers were getting worse and worse for kind of security. Well, good, better and better, I guess, if you like. Right, it starts on the 2-meter calling frequency. It's kind of defaulted to that, but obviously you can drag these bars here and move it to where you want, or you can click one of the presets. When you click a preset, it'll automatically set the mode as well. So say you go to the sideband section, that will change its mode to USB. Tells you up here what the size of that is. So yeah, you can roll your mouse wheel and zoom in to the waterfall and roll it back out and zoom out, or you can go to the Waterfall tab and hit the zoom in and zoom out buttons. On here you can also max zoom in, come back out to the minimum. You can turn it into super zoom, which will just zoom right into that sort of section if you want to, and then turn that back off. There's various other bits and bobs you can do on that tab. But let me just go back to this one. I'm currently muted, so if I unmute, you just get some noise. We've got a squelch function now, so adjustable. So if you click that, and then you can obviously adjust the level. It shows you up here whereabouts that is, which is quite useful. Notch is like for getting rid of kind of sort of constant tones, if you like, which are kind of annoying a signal. It's an automatic notch system, which is pretty good. The other side of it, you've got signal meter at the top here. You've got obviously the frequency that you're on. You can click on that and enter a frequency. So if you press click, it becomes an input. So you can type a frequency you want to go to in. That frequency has to be one of the ones that are listed here. When you hover over these frequency tabs, it'll tell you what they cover. You can't put a frequency in that's not covered, otherwise it will just go wrong, basically. Quick frequency step adjustment here, plus and minus. You select what step you want and then hit the plus and minus. If you say you can roll this wheel as well to fine tune, which is quite useful. If you say at that frequency there and you want to be at 299 dead, you just click the round button and it will drop down. It drops to the nearest kilohertz. So if you're at 51, for instance, it'll go to 300. That makes sense. Mode selection, different bands. So we're on 2 meters, 430, 433, 446, etc. If you click the green ones, that will take you to the other WebSDR, which will bring up another page. So let's show you. There you go. That brings up, eventually, brings up the other web page. So that's what the green ones do. Right, moving along, that's pretty much from that page. Apart from, we've got some cool stuff down here actually. We've got the audio visualizer, which let's use him as an example. That basically just visualizes the sound that you're getting. Ever so slight delay on it, but not massively. You can change it to a waveform and a spectrogram, which I don't really get the spectrogram, but I thought I'd put it on there anyway. So that's pretty cool. Keep pressing that and it will stop. Can bring up it didn't stop. You can bring up an S meter plot as well here, if you so need to. So yeah, so that's that page. Obviously you've got some various bits you can click here. What I've done is the HTTPS server gives you a landing page. So that just goes to the landing page, which is this, and then you can select which HTTPS server you want to go to. The OpenWebRX isn't one, but my two are. So yeah, right, next Waterfall, we've had a brief look at that one. DSP, you can just adjust things like sort of fine controls, if you like. What should we say? Audio boost. I need to give you an example, don't I? Really, this works better on sort of weak signals. So the FM, if you click that, it gives you a bit of a tuning tip here. If you click that, it will shrink the bandwidth down and add some audio boost on, just to kind of raise the high pitch side of it. So if you've got a very weak signal, you can just go to this and press that button on FM, and it'll kind of bring the signal out. Let's see if I can show you with this guy here. He's weak. So that's, I don't know if that makes, it's added a bit of DSP as well. So that's kind of the idea behind that. When you release that button, it keeps the filter where it was. You can see the filters drop down to 4 now. So you have to manually go and change that, which I'll show you in a second, because that's in the filter tab. DSP level, you can add digital signal processing. I must admit, I'm not a fan of DSP. I don't like the sound it creates, but it does get rid of the background noise a bit, which people like. But I tend to not bother with it. Filter tab, we can change the filters once so we're on 4 kHz now, which is quite narrow. The default's around about 12. But you can obviously adjust that. If you're in a different mode, I think it brings up a different set of adjustments. There you go. So you've got the different ones for the different modes. That's it for that. These don't really do anything. You can, so they do in that they do the same as this. So you can drag that to sort of change the width of a signal, but you can also do it with these two. So you've got kind of options, but the easiest way is to just drag those and then do that to reset it. Right, memories. You can save, click save, and it will save and put a little tag on for you, and it will remember that for when you come back to the site. You can obviously label it, pop in your label in here. So yeah, you can have as many as those as you want. Just keep going, and it will just keep adding them. Oh, I need to change the box so it stays inside the box. Good job, I did that. I've worked something out. And then just click to delete. Recording, you can record whatever you're hearing. You have to have the audio one, I believe, for it. Let me just check that. I'm pretty sure you've got to have the audio one. I don't know if it's, let's go to him. Right, stop. You can click download and it will download that recording, or you can press play here and it'll play it for you. But obviously, as you can see, because we've got the live audio muted here, it's not recorded anything. So let's go back to FM, show you that. Recording, start, stop. Now I've got a button here for muting him so I can listen. Mute him and then listen. We didn't get much, did we? So unmute that and start again. Come on, speak. Oh, that'll do. Oh, I know what's going on here. See, it says here, ensure visual or audio visualizer has been stopped first, and we're still running the audio visualizer, I believe. So I think that's why we're struggling here. Getting the recording to stay long enough, and that's our problem. That's why it's only doing a very brief recording. But anyway, that's the plan behind the recording side of it. Info tab's just got all the information, latest updates and things like that, which I add various quick links, etc, etc. You can change the page layout with this tab. You can change your theme, click one of these preset themes, or you can mess around with the colors yourself and change it to whatever you want, etc. So just play to your heart's content. What it will do is it'll remember whatever you've set. So when you come back to the page, it'll remember it. You can click reset and it'll all go back. Various things you can do with that, so that's quite useful. I quite often leave it standard, but I do quite like, is it that one? No, that one. I quite like that one for some reason. I don't know why. So that sometimes I go to that, but it will save that as a cookie. So when you come back to the site, you'll have that saved. Right, users, that shows you who's online and where they are. So if somebody's listening to something, you can click them and it will take you to whatever they're listening to, which is quite good. That did have IP addresses on, but for people's privacy, I got rid of that. If you put your call sign or username or whatever in here, it will then add that to it. There you go, like that. So this is where you can add chat. Just click in here, type whatever you want, and then click submit. But no abuse. And I sort of said don't bother with links because people use it for putting rogue things on there. So I can delete these chats if need be. So yeah, that's the chat one. Logbook. If you hear a bit of DX or something, you can add it into here. It will capture your frequency. So you say you type the call sign or wherever it is in there, you put any comments, you click submit. It won't drop to the bottom of this list until you click refresh, because this is only the last kind of so many. So if you click refresh, it will then update and you'll see the latest, and you'll see whatever you just inserted. The Kiwi one's gone now. I need to remove this. OpenWebRX still exists, so that's my other server, which I don't know if you're familiar with OpenWebRX, but it's just another platform. Better in some respects because it can do FT8 decoding and DMR decoding and things like that. But I personally don't like the GUI as much. The user interface is, and the quality of the sound isn't quite as good as these WebSDR.org versions. So, but it's there. It's another useful tool to have in the box. This is just to show you what antennas are currently being used for these WebSDRs. A bit of info there. This is my local weather station. It just so happens to have lost its temperature reading in the last couple of weeks, so I need to fix that. But mainly I use it for the wind speed because my antennas, which you just saw then, these ones are connected on the rotator to this weather station. So if the wind speed goes red here, it will turn those antennas into the wind, which is cool. So that's the only reason I use it, but I thought I'd put it on here too. You can click this new window and it will go to the actual weather underground display for this station. It's located on site. This is a great tab, Callsign Lookup of a station you hear. You just pop the call sign in, click quick lookup, and it will bring up their details on how far away they are from this this WebSDR. So that's pretty cool. And also you can do a locator search too. Pop in a locator, click convert, and it will do the same thing. So really good. Click this tab and it will take you to the actual QRZ page. I use this page so much, I really do. So aircraft map, I think this might be working again. That brings you to the OpenWebRX page with all the aircraft in. So for those of you that like listening to airbands, you can have this on another tab as well. And this is all ADSB data that's been received by this WebSDR. As you can see, it's not got a massive range, but you can get the local stuff, which is quite cool because if you click on it, it will show you what the actual radio is. To say, the aircraft is. So if you're on the airband listening away and you hear them say a call sign, you can go and find it on here and track it. So yeah, really nice feature that. Yeah, now this is a real cool new one I've added, MIDI controller. So it can be quite annoying dragging this all the time and tuning it this way and all this sort of thing. So what you can do is you can, if you've got a USB MIDI controller, what I use is one of these, which I only got for about £40 off eBay. It's just sat right in front of my finger at the moment as I move the mouse, attached to the desk. And what you can do is it connects via USB, connect it to your computer via USB, and then now, because we've got these controls set up, you can connect it to this WebSDR. So I've already got mine connected. As you can see, it's connected. And what I can do then is just turn things turn the VFO control. So that's the I'm actually turning this wheel here now. Turn that, and it obviously moves the frequency. We've got the steps set to 12.5, so it's moving it in 12.5 steps. Then you can assign all these buttons here. You can assign to any button you want. So you basically click assign tune, press the button you want to assign tune to, and then it'll assign it. And as you can see, it's set them up here for me. So I've got various things I can change, modes, etc. So cracking feature, really useful if you just want a quick way of tuning and that sort of thing. Clear it all down, whatever. So yeah, play away. Never bother with admin one. That's just I just add some junk on there basically. It's not really anything in that one. So just for features I want to test or something like that. So that's pretty much it. Hope that was useful. Yeah, enjoy. The other WebSDR is pretty much the same. The only difference is it's got the CB codes tab in there, which shows you what the CB codes are. I'll tell you what, let me show you while we're there. And that just gives you a list of, there it is. It gives you a list of all the CB codes if you're listening on the CB band. On 555, for instance, and there's people calling 1 and then their call sign. It shows you what they are. You can search for them. So say we want to find what number 6 is, it will tell us that. You can search either for the number or the country, and it will bring that up. So yeah, it's a good little feature as well. And that is it, guys. Thanks for watching, and catch you next time.